Welcome to our brief introduction to using texting in instruction. The purpose of this video is to introduce the use of texting in instruction for students with disabilities and others who struggle. Text messaging is one of the more popular modes of communication on the planet, with billions of estimated users worldwide. With this popularity, many educators and parents have started to wonder whether it might have educational benefits. An interesting application of texting and text speak is it can be used to help build foundational reading skills, such as word recognition and phonological awareness. You can also use texting to generate discussions of formal and informal language, and of writing for different tasks, audiences, and purposes that are all necessary for meeting college and career readiness standards in reading, writing, language, and speaking and listening. Though it may not seem like it, texting is writing, and students who text frequently are engaging in a lot of writing. Harness that energy and use it as a way to help your students build their writing skills. If your students are avid texters, consider using these activities to build literacy skills. Take advantage of student activities to build relevant lessons on writing for different audiences and purposes. Use texting to launch discussions on formal versus informal language, comparing syntax, language, grammar, and usage of text and instant messaging with formal and written English. Recognize texting is writing. Have your students use texting to create short summaries of longer, more formal pieces of literature. For example, how would the famous dialogue between Romeo and Juliet in the orchard have been different if conducted via text? Do relationships and meanings suffer from the medium? Introduce your students to Google SMS or Cha-Cha or another texting answering service. Users can send a text message query and quickly receive definitions, translations, maps, directions, and other pieces of information that can serve as just-in-time supports for reading anytime, anywhere. Allow your students to text in responses during class discussions. This can be beneficial for students with learning disabilities or those who are English language learners. Often, these students may struggle to find the right words during high-pressure situations. Allowing them to think about an answer and compose it before responding may increase participation in class discussions. Encourage your students to write often, whether through email, instant message, text, blogging, or another medium, recognizing that all writing is important. Recent research has shown that students who regularly use text speak have better word recognition, vocabulary, and phonological awareness. Consider that in order for students to utilize abbreviations, shortenings, symbols, slang, and other non-traditional spellings, they have to have at least some idea about language and how syntax works. When considering using mobile phones and texting in your classroom, it is important to ensure that your students understand texting charges and that parents are aware of your plans. For example, you may send a note home suggesting a text reminder of important assignments that both parents and students can sign up for. However, many families may have limited texting plans, so this should be a consideration. Even if students are not actively texting as part of a lesson, it can be an engaging discussion point to draw attention to the evolution of language and how writing may change for different audiences and purposes. Pause here and answer this question. How can you use texting in your teaching? When you are satisfied that you know this content, please continue.